Unbelievable! China's 6 megaports smashes the economic blockade. China has heavily invested in the construction of 6 different ports, which are located in various countries. The total investment in these ports has amounted to tens of billions of dollars. In today's video, we'll show you the significant impacts on these 6 megaports on China's economic growth. This development has caused the United States to become increasingly anxious, as the completion of these ports could potentially help China evade the economic blockade imposed by the United States and disrupt the existing maritime trade pattern. Number 1. Keqiang Port. China heavily relies on the Strait of Malacca to transport more than 80% of its imported energy and other commodities. However, China is also concerned about its excessive reliance on the Strait of Malacca, as any blockade by the United States could cause a severe economic crisis. To address this concern, China has established strong diplomatic relations with Myanmar and has helped build significant infrastructure in the country. In 2015, China invested $7.8 billion in the construction of the Keqiang port in Myanmar, which has since been leased to China for 99 years, with Chinese companies owning 70% of the shares, while the remaining 30% is held by Myanmar companies. China has also invested in the construction of oil and gas pipelines that connect the Keqiang port to Yunnan in China. The completion of the Keqiang port and oil pipeline in 2023 is expected to provide significant benefits for China's energy supply chain. With the protection of Myanmar's ports and oil pipelines, China's imported oil can be transported from the Keqiang port to trains or pipelines, significantly shortening the voyage and reducing the risk of supply chain interruptions. The Keqiang port is an essential outlet for China's foreign oceans, providing effective protection for the economies of both China and Myanmar in the next decade. Overall, China's investment in the Keqiang port and its infrastructure highlights its efforts to diversify its transportation routes and increase its dependence on the Strait of Malacca. Number 2. Gwadar Port. Gwadar is a small port city in Pakistan that has gained immense significance due to its strategic location. It is situated near the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. The port has the potential to become a major hub for maritime trade, and that's why China decided to invest in its development. In 2013, China agreed to invest $46 billion in Pakistan to build the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC, which includes the construction of highways, railways, and energy projects. The Gwadar port is a vital component of this corridor, and China has played a crucial role in its development. China Overseas Ports Holding Company, or COPHC, a Chinese state-owned enterprise, was awarded a 40-year concession to operate the Gwadar port in 2013. Since then, China has invested billions of dollars in the port's development, including the construction of a new terminal and a free zone. The development of the Gwadar port has had a significant impact on Pakistan's economy. It has created job opportunities and boosted economic activity in the region. The port has also helped Pakistan to reduce its dependence on the Karachi port, which was previously the only major port in the country. For China, the Gwadar port is a crucial gateway to the Middle East and Africa. It provides China with a shorter route for its imports and exports and reduces its reliance on the Malacca Strait, which is a potential choke point in times of geopolitical tensions. Number 3. Port of Suez. The Suez Canal is a crucial waterway for global trade, with more than 20,000 ships passing through it each year. The canal connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, providing a shortcut between Europe and Asia that saves ships from having to go around the southern tip of Africa. The canal is owned and operated by Egypt, which earns significant revenue from fees charged to ships passing through. In 2013, China launched the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, a massive infrastructure and investment project aimed at boosting trade and connectivity between Asia and Europe, Africa, and beyond. The Suez Canal is a key component of the BRI's 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, which seeks to develop maritime routes between China and Europe to the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. To achieve this goal, China has sought to deepen its ties with Egypt, the owner of the Suez Canal. China has invested heavily in the development of the Egyptian economy and infrastructure, including the expansion of the port of Suez. In 2016, Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Egypt and signed several deals with the Egyptian government, including an agreement to establish a Chinese industrial park near the Suez Canal. China has also invested in the development of Egypt's new administrative capital, a massive planned city outside of Cairo. The expansion of the port of Suez has had significant economic benefits from both China and Egypt. China has gained access to an important port for its maritime trade routes, while Egypt has seen increased foreign investment and job creation. However, China's growing presence in Egypt has also raised concerns among some observers about the potential for political influence and economic dependency on China. Number 4. Hambantota Port. Hambantota Port has been a significant investment for China's Belt and Road Initiative. The port's strategic location in the Indian Ocean enables China to bypass the Malacca Strait, which is often congested and vulnerable to potential blockades by rival countries. Additionally, the port's close proximity to key shipping routes provides China with a gateway to the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. China's investment in Hambantota Port has not been without controversy. The Sri Lankan government has been accused of giving up too much control to China, and concerns have been raised over the port's long-term viability and potential environmental impact. The Sri Lankan government has faced criticism for accepting Chinese loans that have resulted in debt burdens for the country. In December 2017, the Sri Lankan government announced a debt-for-equity swap deal with China Merchants Port Holdings, which allowed China to take an 85% stake in the port and operate it for 99 years. While the deal helped Sri Lanka reduce its debt burden, it also sparked concerns over China's growing influence in the region. Despite these concerns, the Hambantota port remains an important asset for China's Belt and Road Initiative. It provides China with a foothold in the Indian Ocean, strengthens its ties with Sri Lanka, and expands its economic and geopolitical influence in the region. Number 5. Pyrius Port. China invested 4.3 billion euros to acquire a 67% stake in the Pyrius port, which was in a dilapidated state due to the economic crisis. The port had only 4 cranes and 2 cargo ships that could barely function, while most of the other equipment was old and had to be abandoned. China upgraded and built a new terminal to improve the port's condition. The Pyrius port is strategically located at the shipping center of Europe, Asia, and Africa. China recognized this and took an interest in its geographical location, allowing the Chinese fleet to transship a large number of containers from the Suez Canal into the Mediterranean. The Pyrius port's cargo volume has grown significantly, and it is expected to be ranked 9th among the world's international shipping centers in 2022. It is believed that the Pyrius port will become the largest port in the Mediterranean in the near future. Number 6. Djibouti Port. The protection of military forces is crucial for the safety of any maritime trade. In order to combat piracy in the region, China invested $185 million in 2013 to acquire a 23.5% stake in Djibouti Port. The primary role of the port is to provide training and supplies for the Chinese escort. In 2014, China commenced the construction of Djibouti's multifunctional ports of Dorali and Rojo. After less than 3 years of construction, the multifunctional port of Dorali was officially put into operation in May 2017. Currently, the Djibouti port supplies more than half of the necessary provisions to the Chinese convoy. China's continued infrastructure development in other countries aims to facilitate maritime trade, which cannot be limited to the Straits of Malacca. Other overseas ports will become vital nodes for connecting new routes. That's all. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment below if you agree with the points I made in this video. If you want to see more videos like this, press the bell icon and do not forget to like and subscribe.